Hey everyone, Mr. Russell here, and I'm going to go over question number one from the review, which is finding the volume of a cone. All right, so if you made a mistake there, man, that's an easy fix. If you maybe thought this was a cylinder or a sphere, right, that might be your first mistake. But this is a cone because the base is a circle, right, and then we meet at the vertex. It's kind of like an upside down cone here. And the formula for that volume is equal to 1/3 times pi times r squared times h. So this one is a little bit tricky because we did not give you what the height of the cone is. Instead, we're given what the slant height. See how the slant height's along the side of that cone? But for volume, we need the actual height. Okay, so I kind of went over this process with you guys when I talked to you about volume of a pyramid. Same thing applies here with the cone. So if I were to draw in the height, okay, I'll put it in red for you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go from the middle of my cone straight down, right? And those two should be perpendicular. What we notice, I'm gonna call this X. You could call it H if you'd like. We actually now have a right triangle here. And how do we find the missing side length of any right triangle? Yours and mine favorite theorem, the Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to use that first to figure out what the height of this cone is. So I'm going to set it up as 17 squared because that is the hypotenuse. So 17 squared equals 8 squared plus x squared. All right, let's simplify this now. So 17 squared, throw that into your calculator, and you get 289. That's equal to 8 squared, which is 64, plus x squared. Okay, now we want to get x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 64 from both sides. And 289 minus 64 gives us 225. And that's going to be equal to x squared. And then we want to undo the square root by taking, undo the square by taking the square root of both sides. Okay, and the square root of 225 ends up being 15, which is x, or we know that as the height of our pyramid. All right, so now that we have that missing piece, we can go ahead and plug all that into our formula for the volume. So now we're going to say volume equals 1/3 pi. What's our radius? Oh, it was given to us. The radius of the base here is 8. So it's 8 squared times our height we just found of 15. So what I like to do is I multiply all the numbers together first. So I'm actually going to do out 8 squared, which is 64, and multiply that by 15. Okay, kind of get that simplified. And then instead of multiplying it by 1/3, I just find it a hair quicker to divide by 3 my calculator instead. Okay, oh, I feel like I have to sneeze. So when I do that, so 64 times 15 divided by 3, we end up with 320, and we haven't included pi yet, so we just kind of leave it on the end there. So I could write our answer as 320 pi centimeters cubed, right? We're using cubic units, which in the Google form, you would have had to enter that as 320, write out pi, and then centimeters raised to the third, right? That's how I typed it into the thing. Or if you multiply it through and use the pi button, 320 times pi gives you 1005.3 centimeters cubed. So really, either one of these answers, whether you left it in terms of pi or you multiplied pi and round to the nearest tenth, each of those are okay. All right, and there is the solution to question number one.